afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Richland Raiders Coaches Show, brought to you by Leadership Logistics LLC and Jeff Bain. So a special shout-out to Jeff Bain and the guys over there, and also a special shout-out to Soda Pop Junction, where we are right now, Jennifer. So it's so nice of them to be willing to host us each and every week on the Richland Raider Coaches Show. And what a week it is, a 4-0 Raider squad, the best start since 1993. And Jennifer, it's a very exciting time to be a Raider.
That's right. So these just came out today. The Richland Times, which is the school newspaper, has come back, and look at that headline, folks. Raiders go 4-0, so lots of excitement around that. So that's a nice thing to get to see. I know Coach Patterson's a little bit proud of that, but he knows there's work. That's some things we're going to look at in this week's show and kind of talk about the excitement of last week and then a little preview of what's to come tomorrow night.
That's an excellently put together newspaper there. I wonder if we should be a little bit worried, Jennifer. I
love
the photography as well.
Might start recruiting too. You know, got
Honestly,
some good writing and got some things. But it's fun to have that kind of back to know some school happenings and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought that was a great headline there. Got the senior Braden Adams showing the 4-0 there, and so. Good times, good times.
Absolutely. And when you talk about the fact that they're 2-0 in region play, which is probably the most important part, of course, it's always great to be undefeated. But right now, you just come off a victory where you dominated a team that I think in Cascade a lot of people thought was one of the top two teams in the region this year. And you won convincingly on the road. And as we've talked about all season, you won in the second half. And so, fantastic second half performance. You were there, Jennifer. Just what did you see from the guys?
Well, I will say this. I've told a lot of folks, you know, over the years, I've got to call a lot of games. That was probably the funnest, most exciting game, especially that first half. Cody and I kept likening it to a heavyweight boxing match, just bout after bout and going at it and slugging each other out. It was good to see Raiders opened up. The opening drive took control, and, you know, because that's been a little bit of a staggering step in weeks past, but they jumped on it. Cascade came right back. You know, so it was just kind of back and forth. But then the second half, again, that second half team really just showed out, and that defense really put a stop to Cascade and shut them down completely to solidify that win.
And, of course, defense is one of the things that I think has been most impressive about the team this year. You know, when the offense has struggled a little bit in the first half of some of these games, the defense has kept them in it. Just what have you been most impressed by there?
Well, you know, defense, they say, is those things that win, like, championships, and I know that's a long way down the line and stuff, but the turnaround in that defense, you know, and I know when you get Coach Pat over here, maybe you want to kind of ask him, like, what's it been? What's been the secret there? And a lot of it's just been the longevity of sticking with a plan and giving it time to develop. Have come through. We talked a lot on the show last week and then also on air last Friday night about, you know, there's a lot of senior leadership in this group, and they've been with Coach Pat for 4 years now, and so you're seeing that development, and then it's starting to pay off, and I think that's a lot of it. It's just the experience is starting to show out. You got some players of great size too, and
right.
they're learning how to manage and use their bodies to their strengths, and you know, not kind of giving up on it. But man, it's been fun. Like I said, that last Friday night's game, one of the funnest ones I've gotten to call. I wanted to keep going like that because it was a lot of things to action going on and stuff, so that keeps our listeners interested. But, man, if folks, I'm telling you right now, if you've not been out yet to see the Raiders, maybe a little far this week.
Yeah, this might not be the week to do it.
You know, you can listen in, but next week against Mount Pleasant, we'll be back home. Get out here and see these guys. Look at the work that has been developed and is out in front of you, because you're going to be amazed at what you see.
And suddenly, you know, next week's game is all but assured to be a matchup between two undefeated teams in the region as well, and quite frankly could end up deciding who wins this region. You know, Mount Pleasant is another team that has been really impressive so far. You know, the turnaround they've had since last year has just been fantastic, and I think that next week's game, you know, is going to be pivotal to where we see the Raiders in the first round of the playoffs. And it's very interesting to say that now, where you're almost saying it as almost a predetermined thing that they're incredibly likely to make the playoffs, whereas in years past it usually is coming down to the 8th, 9th, and 10th week. They're one win away from actually securing it outright.
Well, and that's just the turnaround that we keep talking about, you know, because, I mean, we've been around Richland football a lot of years, Mark,
yeah.
And I kind of almost hate to admit, but I can remember years that we were excited to maybe get a couple first downs in a game. I mean, we've gone through those struggle years. Just to see where they are now has been such fun to be a part of. But I'm telling you, I can't say it enough. Get out and watch these guys. They put the time and effort in, and it's really starting to come to fruition for them. And that's something that people are going to be excited about. It's going to be a huge crowd when it comes to that Mount Pleasant game, so you might want to get there early, folks, because it's probably going to be a packed house.
Absolutely, but of course tomorrow night it'll be Richland versus First Assembly Christian School. I believe I have that right. It's a little bit of a mouthful.
It is.
About a 3-hour and 15-minute drive to Cordova, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. Wade Neely will actually be making that drive for us, so we will have that game live for you, as we have each and every game so far this year. And so just very excited. I'll actually be helping out with Giles County versus Page over there with Chris Bledsoe and Andy Abernathy, and I think you get a much-deserved week off.
Well, I got to give Wade his credit here and give him a shout out, because he said he was willing to take the trek. I'd love to make it work to go, but trying to manage school and get there and so forth, it's quite a trip. So I am going to be listening in and see what these guys do with FACS is what we
Right.
a lot of times call them the Crusaders. Had that competition last year, so got a little bit of a look at them, but I'm curious to hear a little bit of what Coach Pat has maybe dialed up. He won't give away a lot. I know we try, folks, but he's not going to give up much of his game plan. But we'll see what they do. So and you don't want to overlook any game at all, because sometimes, especially when it's that far away, and some of those players you don't know a lot about, something could sneak up. So they're going to have to take care of business tomorrow night on the road.
All right, and so we're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout. Once again, this is the Richland Raider Coaches Show, sponsored by Leadership Logistics LLC and Jeff Bain. So we're going to take a quick timeout, and Nick Patterson will be back in just a moment, and then Jennifer will be interviewing the players. So back in after this timeout here on the Raider Football Coaches Show.
Leadership Logistics LLC is an agency that helps companies enhance their brand while growing their business, as well as providing career development for young professionals. Whether it is a project or a career, professional guidance is valuable. We are experienced professionals providing fresh eyes and proven approaches geared and professional goals. Regardless of your goals, success does not just happen. It is a byproduct of the people you surround yourself with and the guidance that is given to you. Successful strategies are not found in silos. They are found within professional networks. We can help you. Leadership Logistics LLC is an agency of elite professionals that have come together for one purpose: to help enhance someone great to become greater.
Jeff Bain is the founder and general manager of Leadership Logistics LLC. For more information, please visit their website at leadershiplogisticsllc.com.
Citizen media is everywhere. Get daily news, sports, and obituary updates in the Pulaski Citizen e-edition at pulaskicitizen.com. Pulaski Citizen Live offers video and audio streaming of local sports, local meetings, and community events. Pulaski Citizen Social lets you know when and where the next event or update can be found. Love to hold that paper in your hand? The same Pulaski Citizen newspaper that's been printed since 1854 is available each week by subscription or on newsstands throughout.
Pulaski Citizen Live is doing Giles County sports and community events like they've never been done before. Video of local government meetings and community events, as well as streaming of high school, middle school, and youth league games. Football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, and more are all on the PCL schedule throughout the year. Get your game called by the most recognized sports announcers in Giles County. So are you looking for your next meeting, event, or game? Make sure you tune in to Pulaski Citizen Live on YouTube and on the Mixler app.
And so welcome back to the Richland Raider Coaches Show, brought to you by Leadership Logistics LLC and Jeff Bain. Of course, we're here in beautiful downtown Linville at Soda Pop Junction. They were kind enough to host us each and every week here on the Coaches Show, so can't say enough thank yous to Johnny Phelps and the folks over there. I'm here now with Coach Nick Patterson of the Richland Raiders. And, Coach, it's great to be here with you once again. Great to be here with you after a 4-0 start.
Oh, no doubt. It's kind of become a ritual, and we'd like to keep it going, so I enjoy being here regardless, but we definitely like being here, picking up the win each week. So
absolutely. As we mentioned before, the first 4-0 start since 1993 for the Richland Raiders. But first, I want to talk a little bit about middle school. Of course, you had a game this week, an exciting inter-county matchup versus Bridgeforth. Just, you came out on the losing end of that one, 34-20, but it was a fantastic game. I think one of the most exciting inter-county games I've seen in the last few years. What are your initial thoughts about that game?
Well, it was a hard fought game on both sides. Like you said, it was really really good game, exciting game. We came up a couple possessions short, unfortunately. Ty Gardner was a heck, as advertised, he's a heck of a ball player. He did a really good job. Aylin for us, had a good night as well. He was battling back spasms early in the game and definitely after halftime, and that kind of affected him a little bit. But I thought we ran the ball as good as we ran it all year. So we did what we wanted to there. Took our shots when we needed to. We cut it 26-20 right after half. Had a chance to really kind of take the momentum over, and we just didn't get it done. But like I told the kids, I was extremely proud of how hard they fought. I thought as far as the effort, they gave the best effort they gave all season. So you can't fault them for that. Sometimes you just don't come out on the winning end, and we didn't. Tuesday night, but I thought they fought hard against a bigger opponent that's probably supposed to beat us most of the time. So, I'm excited for things to come. We got a chance this week on Tuesday to battle for another conference, chance to play in the conference championship for the third year in a row in our conference that we're in. So, our junior high Raiders are certainly doing their part as well.
And, of course, I know everyone wants to hear about the high school bunch, but a couple more questions real quick on the middle school side. Defensively, it felt like the guys were in good positioning most of the night. It was a case where they were meeting guys in the gap. They were meeting guys near the line of scrimmage, but obviously Gardner's the positions your guys are getting in, just the effort that you're seeing, that part seems to already be there.
Yeah, it was. I thought, we did a good job for the most part bottling them up. We had them in third and long, 2 or 3 different times, especially, like I said, on that when it was 26-20 and that battle, and he just found a way the first down on us, whether it be a breakdown or somebody not where they're supposed to be or whatnot. But for the most part, all night we were where we were supposed to. The kids did what their coaches do. My junior high coaching staff has done a great job for me. Coach Ray, Coach Lowry, Coach Baxter, those guys, Coach Bill Yu, they've done a good job getting those kids ready and prepared because this was really a rebuilding year for us junior high-wise. We were young in a lot of spots. We had a really big 8th grade class that moved up and a lot of kids that hadn't played a whole lot of junior high football for us, so we didn't know what we had, and they've really come out and done a good job for us.
And finally, offensively, just can't say enough good things about this spread attack that you're seeing from Gavin Schrader at quarterback, Aylin Kennedy, maybe one of the best wide receivers in middle school I've ever seen. Landon Harbison and Brody Waldron had good games. The line played well at times over the course of the night. Just overall, this is just a fun group to watch. It's such an exciting offense for the middle school level.
It is, and it makes it fun. It makes kids want to play. It certainly makes it better when you got a kid that can spin it like Gavin can.
Yeah.
We're excited, that he's going to be playing junior high ball for several years to come for us and then move up. But, it's kind of crazy that the kid's never played football before this year, because he looks like certainly not a 6th grader, but probably more like an 8th grader, maybe even a 9th grader, the way he plays, the way he spins the ball and that sort of thing. And he's got room to improve for sure. But, I think there's some exciting times still ahead and exciting times to come for our junior high program for sure.
Absolutely. So now turning the page to the high school bunch, I'll tell you, 4 or 5 times over the course of your tenure, we keep saying this is probably the biggest win in a decade for Richland Raider football. I think we're ready to say that again after that Cascade victory. To go up against one of the probably people would have said was one of the top 2 teams in the region coming in this year on the road, to absolutely throttle them in the second half, just outlast them. Just, it's hard for us not to get overly excited about it because there's still so many games left on the season, especially in region play. But just how'd you feel about the guys' performance?
Well, I was glad that our offense finally, came through like we know we can. We hadn't played good at times this year. Defense has carried us for sure. But I thought our offense really, started off the gate and took the opening drive down and scored and kind of set a tone for the night. But it was a big night, and we rose to the occasion. And you said, something we tell our guys is we're built for this. We're built to outlast people. We're built, the way we're 2 platooning. Our kids don't play a lot both sides of the ball, so we get a lot of breaks and a lot of rests. We go against each other every day. I mean, that's huge at our level, and we got some scout team guys that do a good job for us, but we do a lot of one-on-one stuff, so our offensive line is having to block Tyler Montero and Josh Workman on a daily basis. And, if we can block those guys, then we can block most guys that we're going to line up with on Friday night. So that makes a big difference. And just our kids' mentality this year, we set goals like we always do, but, we've really worked towards achieving those goals. We've already knocked a few off. Beating Cornsville was a big goal for us this year. Setting ourselves up for the playoffs and the win against Cascade, there's still work to be done, but getting 2-0 in the region is a big start to that. And so, they're focused on our goals. They're focused, a good point of emphasis for me would be this week. The temperature rose back up, and it was hot out there Tuesday and Wednesday, and I thought we had two of our better practices of the year. So we're not kind of letting, the things we can't control us. We're doing a good job of handling that and handling the adversity when it comes and dealing with it and moving past it. So mature group that we're proud of.
And, of course, tomorrow night you get a reprieve from region play as you're headed all the way to Cordova, Tennessee, a 3-hour and 15-minute drive to take on First Assembly Christian School. That's a little bit out of the way. Just how are you and the coaching staff making sure that the guys still get their, in their in-game rhythm, that they have a normal Friday, that they're prepared for, that long trip and still staying in the zone?
Well, we've discussed it a lot. I mean, it's easy to get distracted, whether it be a charter bus ride or going that far, which a lot of these kids have never done, that sort of thing. So, we've discussed the fact, but just trying to maintain routine and what we've done all week, trying to maintain, we're going to go open car doors in the morning at the elementary school. I mean, that's a tradition that we have really grown fond of. The elementary kids love it. I think the teachers love it, although we get them a little riled up, and they may not like that on Friday. But our kids certainly love it. I think it's important for our kids to see that little eyes are always watching them.
Right.
And so that's why I like doing it. But we're going to try to, maintain that. We've got a walkthrough scheduled at Memphis University. They've built a multi-million-dollar, new indoor facility. And I got a good buddy that coaches over there, and he's kind of helped us out with that. So we're going to do a walkthrough at Memphis University midday, so kind of get on our feet and get going a little bit. And then we'll get over there and kind of maintain what we usually do as far as pregame stuff. The difference is the bus ride and the long ride home, obviously, but everything else we're going to try to keep as normal as possible.
That's awesome. And, of course, you got a chance to see FACS last year. Just what's the initial scouting report, the things that you think are going to be key to starting 5-0 with tomorrow night's victory?
Well, really just coming out and playing where we're capable of playing, I think, is important. Not playing up or down to the the level of competition. I believe it's their homecoming tomorrow, so they'll have a bunch of festivities and all that going on. Not letting that distract us and be a part of what we are. But they got some athletes. They're a private school. They get to recruit kids. There's different kids on their team now that weren't on there last year, and they got a bunch of athletes, and they're young, but they are athletic, and we got to do our job and do what we know to do and execute at our level. And if we do that, I think we'll be okay. But, we can't come out kind of haphazard or kind of with that 4-0 mindset that we can just show up and win ball games, because there's not a team in our schedule that can't beat us if we don't take care of business and do what we're supposed to.
Yeah, just a couple more questions, and then Jennifer Hawkins will be interviewing the players. So, Coach, I know you hate to look forward. I was about to say, I know that's kind of something that you and the coaching staff never want to see. But could we ask one question about the week after, what may be the biggest game of the season versus Mount Pleasant? Just what are your initial thoughts about that? Two teams in Richland and Mount Pleasant who really had the guys last year, but, ended up not being able to finish near the top of the region. And now you two look like the class of the region. That's got to feel good for local coaches.
Well, I think so. Of course, Mount Pleasant always has that ability as far as, their athletes and stuff. They have put together a good season so far. They got a tough game tomorrow night with Columbia Central, in-county rivals, so that'll be big for them. But, regardless of what happens tomorrow night, we're both coming in 2-0 and on top of the region next week. So it is setting up to be a really, really big game. I don't know, not just the season, but as far as us playing this type of magnitude game, out here at the Wayne Hobbs Stadium, it's probably been a decade or more, since that game of that magnitude has been played out there. So it's going to be really big. I expect the stadium to be packed and rocking, and we just look forward to the opportunity and the challenge.
And final question, Jennifer Hawkins wanted me to ask you this: are you getting a special place you like to go?
There is a few places, but I don't know that's going to be on the schedule or the time frame that we have to make it happen. But if I can sneak a coach off to get some, we may do that. But, we're going to try to stay ultra focused on our job, which is trying to get to 1-0 tomorrow night, in turn, which would make us 5-0. And, that's the biggest goal. Get there, get the win, try to keep injury free if we can. That's big because last Friday, was a really physical game for us, and we did get banged up a little bit. So, we're nursing some injuries right now, so we got to get those nursed up, and we got to keep anybody else from getting hurt so we can get into these big region games we got coming up.
Absolutely. All business, Coach. I like it. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll hear from the players in just a moment.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. So your show brought to you by Leadership Logistics LLC and Jeff Bain. We're going to take a quick timeout, and Jennifer Hawkins will be back interviewing the players. So back in just a moment here on Pulaski Citizen Live.
Leadership Logistics LLC is an agency that helps companies enhance their brand while growing their business, as well as providing career development for young professionals. Whether it is a project or a career, professional guidance is valuable. We are experienced professionals providing fresh eyes and proven approaches geared to show you how to achieve your personal and professional goals. Regardless of your goals, success does not just happen. It is a byproduct of the people you surround yourself with and the guidance that is given to you. Successful strategies are not found in silos. They are found within professional networks. We can help you. Leadership Logistics LLC is an agency of elite professionals that have come together for one purpose: to help enhance someone great to become greater.
Jeff Bain is the founder and general manager of Leadership Logistics LLC. For more information, please visit their website at leadershiplogisticsllc.com.
Citizen Media is where you are. Online with PulaskiCitizen.com. On social media with Facebook and Instagram. On your phone with sporting and community event streaming. On your email with daily updates. Or right in your living room with the Pulaski Citizen newspaper. Giles Countyans have turned to the Pulaski Citizen for exclusive Giles County information, events, and entertainment for nearly 170 years. That hasn't changed, but it has grown. Citizen Media. We're not just the newspaper anymore.
All of us at Pulaski Citizen Live are thrilled to share these local sporting events with our listeners. Pulaski Citizen Live is a fun and exciting way for us to enhance our coverage of local athletes game by game and play by play. Wade Neely, Chris Bledsoe, Mark Mize, Cody Derryberry, and Jennifer Hawkins are some of the most recognized voices of local athletics over the past decade. You can hear their calls of the action each week exclusively on Pulaski Citizen Live. We're just getting started, and we welcome you along for the ride on Pulaski Citizen Live.
All right, welcome back in here at the Raiders Coaches Show here on the first day of fall. So the boys of fall here with us, and it's one of our favorite parts here. We get to talk to some of our players, hand out some hardware for their work that they've done here in practice and so forth in the week leading up to this. So I have here on my left, I've got Mr. Blaine Harmon. So Blaine, tell us what grade you're in, what positions you play, and a little bit about yourself.
I'm a sophomore. I'm a running back for scout team. I also play wide receiver, and I play cornerback.
All right. So, and you have been recognized this week as the Scout Team Player of the Week. And so that's such a big award because a lot of people don't realize behind the scenes kind of what Scout Team is responsible for. So this week leading up, prepping for this game against the Crusaders, what's been your main task? What have you had to do this week?
My main task has been to give our defensive guys the best look they could possibly have offensive-wise, to know what they're going to come, and I've been trying to do my best as running back to make them see what they're going to see in the game.
Well, and that keeps you prepped too, so that if you have to be next man up, you got to have those legs ready and know your routes and stuff too. So it gets you a lot of experience as well, kind of keeping you. So big part of your responsibility there on Scout Team is have everybody ready, but also keep yourself ready. So very cool, very cool. So so running back's your main focus on Scout Team?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's your favorite?
Definitely.
Definitely. All right. Well, tell me a little bit about getting to this point, and let's talk about, like, have you grown up playing when did you start playing football, and how'd you get to this point here? Or when did you start?
I started playing football when I was younger. I played Red Hawks League. I quit didn't like it, and then I got back into it about 7th grade. As I've been playing since, and I fell in love with the sport.
Fell in love with it, so something you look forward to every day,
Yes, ma'am.
even the long hours, right? So
Long
talk to
hours
us a
in
little
the
bit
heat.
about like a weekly kind of schedule, like what you guys have to do. What's your weekly kind of schedule look like for football?
We'll wake up on Mondays, and once we get to school, after school's over, we will go to practice. Monday's install day. We'll go over what we're going to see from the team on Friday, and we'll try to install new plays or anything that we need. And then Tuesday will be perimeter day, which is where we work on mainly skill guys. And then Wednesday is team day for the offensive scout and defensive scout.
All right, so it keeps you busy though, doesn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
When do you sleep? Or do you?
No, ma'am.
Not much. You're young, right? Enjoy it while you're young. So, all right. Well, Blaine, last thing I want to kind of ask you, put you on the spot a little bit. What's your projection? What do you think? What do you see score-wise after tomorrow night?
I think that if we can stay focused, do what we're supposed to do, I think we can come out on top pretty well. Maybe 16, 17 points.
Okay. All right. That's a pretty good point spread. So we might have to hold you to it, right?
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
All right, folks. This has been sophomore Blaine Harmon. He is our Scout Team Player of the Week. So congratulations, Mr. Harmon. Well-deserved, so putting in the time and effort. So enjoy that, as that's sponsored by Leadership Logistics, LLC. So shout out to Jeff Bain for sponsoring these awards. And we want to thank you, Blaine, for your time. And we're going to let you slip out. And, folks, we're going to swap out just now. So Blaine will let you lay the headset here, and we're going to get Shooter Foster to come on down. We're going to make this transition right quick and bring us in another player here. All right, we'll let you slide that headset on there, man, and have a seat. All right, joining us now, another award winner this week, Mr. Shooter Foster, one of my favorite names to get to call on the roster. This is such a great name, and got to call your name a lot this last Friday night, so got you a little playing time, get you some reps in. So how'd you feel after Friday night's game?
It just felt good to win. Be 4-0 since the first time in 29 years?
Something like that. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yes,
way
ma'am.
before your time, right? So we won't get into where I was at that age. But, all right, so Shooter, tell us a little bit what grade you're in, what positions you play, and what your role is on special teams.
I'm a freshman. I play Raider back on defense, and I play most of the special teams.
All right, so why do you think you received the Special Team Player of the Week this week?
I played an important role on the special teams.
Yeah, you were kind of in on a lot of different plays. Yeah, a lot of things. It's kind of hard to brag on yourself. I kind of put you on the spot there, Shooter. That's okay. So, yes, and so we'll get you that award in just a minute. I've got a few other questions here. Are you a little nervous?
A little bit.
It's hard to be on here, but you're doing a great job. So we're just going to sit here and talk just a little bit about your game tomorrow night. So what do you see coming up? What's been some of the prep for this week? What's some of the things you guys been working on?
They run a lot of jet sweeps and stuff,
Okay.
so we got to defend the edges and stuff.
All right, so you've been prepping that up and getting that ready and get it under control. So how do you feel like your time has progressed? Like, have you always played when you were younger, or
Yes, ma'am. I've played since 2nd grade,
were you always on defense?
most of the time.
Most of the time, so that's kind of your specialty, right? And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
also now you're getting those reps in on special teams as well. All right, so tell me what you're looking forward to in tomorrow night. How many? What is there a special play or anything set up that you're kind of looking forward to, or you just want to get out there and hit people?
I just want to get out there and hit people.
Make them remember your name too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Walk away and they'll be like, "Who is that guy?" Right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so tell me. Has there been anybody that's influenced your football career up to this point? Anybody you kind of look to that you try to model your play after?
Aaron Donald.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one to name. So, very cool. So, all right, last thing I want to ask you, give me a score for tomorrow night. What's your projection?
I think it's 30-0.
30-0. You're going to shut them out. That defense is going to shut them down again.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you think the offense is going to get it done on the other side and put enough points up for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, you heard it here. So we'll see who these projections are. So we're going to present now from Leadership Logistics LLC. This is your outstanding special team player of the week, Mr. Shooter Foster, the freshman, making his mark known. So we wish you a lot of luck tomorrow night, Shooter. Congrats on the award, and we're going to bring in one more player. Here, we'll swap out right quick. All right, we're going to make a change here. So, and see if he's too busy eating. So come on down, sir. All right. Go ahead and slide that on there. All right, and this is your player of the week notice for, I don't know, did you play last week?
I played the first quarter.
You play just yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's introduce this guy. So this is Mr. Trevor Meadows. Trevor, tell us what grade you're in and some of the positions you play and what your responsibility is on the team.
I'm a senior. I play cornerback on defense, and I don't play any offense. And I play special teams, all of them.
All right. All right. So Trevor and I have known each other quite a while, so we like to kind of cut up and have some fun. So I think he was a little nervous what I might ask him for questions today, but we're just going to talk football. I'll try to behave myself. But so tell me a little bit last week. So you were confirmed. How many picks did you have last week?
I had 3.
3.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that all?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tell me. Can you walk me through at least one of them? Like, were you just reading it well, or tell me how you came up with? I mean, 3 is incredible.
Well, defensive line, they got back in the backfield. They made the quarterback throw some bad plays. And one of them, towards the end of the game, I was on about the 5-yard line, and then he was scrambling. He had to throw it across the field to a receiver, and it was a pretty bad ball, so I managed to get in front of the receiver and get the ball off. And I just went down in the end zone so that we could have it on the 20.
Smart play. Heads up.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, for a player to have 1 in a game, but you were just, like, always in the right spot and just read. So do you read the quarterback? Were you just kind of keeping a close eye or?
First, I'll watch the defensive line. If they stand up straight and then pass block, then I know it's a pass. Then I see which way the quarterback will be rolling, if he's rolling left or right, and then I just watch the receivers from then.
Trying to make your adjustment based on what that movement's in. Tell me how your experience has helped you get to this point. I mean, you don't just walk up and have 3 picks in a game, and
no.
Yeah. So tell me about your.
Well, I didn't. And junior year, I started playing. I started corner last year, and Coach Welch was there, and he taught me quite a bit. And he's not here now, but Coach Smith, he's done a lot for us DBs, coaching us, and just give a lot of my credit to him.
Well, that's awfully kind of you. So we'll have to make sure he knows that. Just try to soak it all in and continue on. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about tomorrow night. So you guys are heading to Memphis. What are you going to do all the way there? Are you sleeping?
Most of us probably be sleeping.
Yeah, it's kind of a trek, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so after you get there, so tell me, do you have any pregame rituals, traditions, anything like that? You one of those guys?
No. Put my stuff on and go play.
Well, you got to kind of do that part, right? Get dressed and ready. But no superstitions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, don't want to change it up now either, right? So
Nope.
Everything's working as it is, so very cool. All right, give me a projection for tomorrow night. What are you seeing for a score?
42-7.
Are you going to? Maybe so. All right, we'll see how it turns out. So we want to thank our players here. So we hope you guys enjoyed these player interviews. They all get a little nervous coming on here, so thank you for bearing with them. But it's so fun to get to enjoy these conversations and get to know a little more about who they are as players. We see them on the field so much. Now you can put a face with a name. So we're going to send it out to commercial. We'll be back in just a minute to wrap this thing up here on the Raiders Coaches Show.
Logistics LLC is an agency that helps companies enhance their brand while growing their business, as well as providing career development for young professionals. Whether it is a project or a career, professional guidance is valuable. We are experienced professionals providing fresh eyes and proven approaches geared to show you how to achieve your personal goals. Success does not just happen. It is a byproduct of the people you surround yourself with and the guidance that is given to you. Successful strategies are not found in silos. They are found within professional networks. We can help you. Leadership Logistics LLC is an agency of elite professionals that have come together to become greater.
Jeff Bain is the founder and general manager of Leadership Logistics LLC. For more information, please visit their website at leadershiplogisticsllc.com.
All of us at Pulaski Citizen Live are thrilled to share these local sporting events with our listeners. Pulaski Citizen Live is a fun and exciting way for us to enhance our coverage of local athletes game by game and play by play. Wade Neely, Chris Bledsoe, Mark Mize, Cody Derryberry, and Jennifer Hawkins are some of the most recognized voices of local athletics over the past decade. You can hear their calls of the action each week exclusively on Pulaski Citizen Live. We're just getting started, and we welcome you along for the ride on Pulaski Citizen Live.
Citizen Media is where you are. Online with PulaskiCitizen.com. On social media with Facebook and Instagram. On your phone with sporting and community event streaming. On your email with daily updates. Or right in your living room with the Pulaski Citizen newspaper. Giles Countyans have turned to the Pulaski Citizen for exclusive Giles County information, events, and entertainment for nearly 170 years. That hasn't changed, but it has grown. Citizen Media. We're not just the newspaper anymore.
And welcome back one final time to the Richland Raider Football Coaches Show, brought to you by Leadership Logistics LLC and Jeff Bain. I'm Mark Mize here alongside Jennifer Hawkins. Once again, a huge shout out to Soda Pop Junction, who were kind enough to not only host us but to feed some of us as well. Can't say enough good things about everyone who makes these broadcasts possible, both the Coaches Show and, of course, all of the great sports action and, political meetings, things like that we're able to bring you through Pulaski Citizen Live. So, Jennifer, you got a chance to talk to the kids. Just what was the general feeling that you got from them? How do they feel about tomorrow night and that long road trip?
Well, I did ask Trevor what they were planning on. He said most of them probably will sleep all the way up there, and because it's a trek. But all their projections were pretty much either very few points to a lot of points for the Raiders. So I think they're expecting good things. I hope they just don't overlook something, because you don't want that to happen. And the other thing you want to avoid is any type of serious injury to where that you lose a key player or lose somebody to an injury. So that's something with that you want to walk away and still be able to do okay with that. But they felt pretty confident about that. And I think, they're just kind of excited. But I know some of them at school today were talking about the road trip home, because a few of them have got to work Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So that makes for a very long night. But it should be good football still.
Absolutely. And actually want to take a moment, Jennifer. Out of all of the compliments that I think that we've heard for, all of our broadcasts this year, the number one person compliment in terms of play-by-play or color commentary has been you. I mean, genuinely, I don't think you realize how much people love hearing you and love having you be a part of this.
Well, I appreciate that, Mark. So, and I wanted to kind of say on air, I am a little miffed at you because you have a new guy at your house, and, you didn't even bring him. This was our chance to
He's listening from home.
But, no, how's it going being a new dad?
Oh, it's pretty cool. Honestly, it has all the standard things people said about that would happen about it is for the most part true. But no, it's been great. So special shout out to Xavier, obviously, and my wife Bethany.
Yay.
But no, it's been great, and really, just looking forward to the rest of the season as well. We're so excited to bring you all of this through Pulaski Citizen Live. Remember that the number one thing you can do for us is potentially tell a potential sponsor or just tell a friend. At the end of the day, we just would love to have as many people listening as possible, and it's really special, the product that we've been able to bring everyone here, and the fact that we're able to give these young athletes a spotlight in the county. So, Jennifer, any last thoughts before we sign off? I think you might have a couple of things you wanted to mention.
We always want to try to promote some things going on at the school, and so looking ahead to next week, but we want to go ahead and give a shout out. you know, Raider Nation, you guys have always come through for us. Last week, we want to thank huge thank you for showing up for our Pistons and Pancakes fundraiser. We were just blown away by the turnout there. But coming up at the Mount Pleasant game, we're for the Gold Out game. That's the Gold Out for Cancer that night. We are, as a student body, collecting new kids' socks and blankets. We call it Sock It to Cancer, and we will get those to Vanderbilt Children's Oncology Unit. And so that just helps kids that are going through cancer treatment. It gets very cold, and this was born out of the Bass family, and they kind of spearheaded some of this. And so, you know, when they're going through it, those rooms have to stay cold for the equipment, and so it's hard on those kiddos. And so the Vanderbilt's always appreciative of donations. So it doesn't get you in for free, anything like that. This is just a donation basis. We'll have a box set up when you night, but next Friday, September 30th, anybody can bring in new kids socks. I think kids too, fun socks are always popular, and then like kid size blankets as well. And we will make sure that those make their way to Vanderbilt, and we appreciate it because Raider Nation always steps up and always helps us out. So be looking. We're going to be trying to do things once a month to help out different organizations and needs, either in our community or around us, that are important to us. So thank you for letting us share that. So Raider Nation, it's your turn to sock it to cancer. Help us out with that.
Absolutely. So you want to thank Jennifer Hawkins once again. It's always a joy, and look
good
forward
to have you back too. It's good to see you, Mark.
Look forward to broadcasting with you again versus Mount Pleasant.
That sounds like a plan. I'll be there.
Awesome. So a special shout out once again to Leadership Logistics LLC, who make this possible through their sponsorship, to Soda Pop Junction, that is kind enough to host us, and of course to Wade Neely, Scott Stewart, Kerry Malone, and Chandler Harmon, who are producing for us. So one final time from Soda Pop Junction, you've been listening to the Richland Raider Coaches Show, brought to you by Pulaski Citizen Live.